Hello Stuart, Nothi here. Um, Great video response to my Let's Get It Right thoughts. Loved it, concur with most of it, as you'll see from my little written reply. I was going to leave it because my Palace lost today and I thought, well, I'm not in the mood, but I thought, having seen your big question video, this is something that is very, very close to my heart. You're quite right in that despite a lot of things in my background, when you're a young kid, you don't, I certainly didn't feel the necessity to end my own life, even though my mother jumped off Beachy Head when I was 8 years old, and her brother did before her. Clinical depression is a very clinical depression is a very dangerous thing, and it can be brought on, as was in my case, by severe agitation due to extremely stressful circumstances. This can trigger off stuff in your background that you thought was dead and buried, but if it wasn't dealt with at the time, it'll come back to haunt you. And that is the kind of thing that happened to me. I understand another element of where you're coming from, in that that underlying will to live is very strong. Because I jumped 60 foot off a multi-story car park because I didn't want to be here the next day. I don't know, everything seemed to be going wrong, and I have very low self-esteem, and I just I didn't have the self-confidence to realise that I could have gone and done anything else and sorted myself out. But without self-esteem, you know, you feel completely worthless. And I was experiencing almost physical pain in the way that my mental health problems were affecting me, and you just want it to stop. You can't think about your siblings, your parents. I mean, my real parents are both dead, but I still have a twin sister, and other people that I'm close to. But you're not capable of thinking outside that box of pain, and you just want it to end. So, with the intention of going to the hospital, going to the doctors rather, I drove towards the doctors with the intention of banging on the door till someone let me in. However, I turned left at the traffic lights and I ended up at the top of the multi-storey car park along the road from the police station in Tunbridge Wells, and I jumped off the top. I survived. I'm still here. Fuck me, it's amazing really. But you know, I survived injuries which my doctor suggested 1 in 200 people would survive. So I'm a lucky bastard. So I'm going to toast. I don't know if you can see that. It's Jack Daniels. I'm going to toast life, because I've seen a lot of wonderful things since all that happened. Once I got my head sorted out, even though I can't do a hell of a lot of things that I used to do, the fact that I used to be very physically active saved my life. But back to the point about having that underlying will. I mean, I was all over the place, obviously. When I woke up after 2 weeks, and they told me what I'd done, I didn't believe them. I thought I'd been blown up by the IRA. That's the sort of thing that a heavy dose of morphine does to you. And I just didn't know where I was. I didn't know what had gone on, and somebody came in to tell me, and I didn't believe them. Very, very upsetting. The thing I regret I don't regret doing it because I don't really see that there's any point. What I do regret is the hurt that it caused other people, but I'm sad. I sadly have to say that it's something that I obviously had to go through. But that underlying will to live is what kept me alive when they scraped me off the concrete, got me into the ambulance and taken me to hospital. In fact, I would have survived in a lot better condition had I not smashed a number of bones and had an embolism, which caused me to have symptoms which are very similar to a stroke. So I have balance problems and spasm problems down my left side. This hand doesn't work very well. The other one's smashed to bits by, well, put it this way, my family were presented with 2 full pages of A4 describing all the different injuries that I sustained. So I was a miracle patient for a while, and the fact that I'm still here is testament to the expertise there is in the NHS, slagged off that they are all the time, unnecessarily. They're brilliant. So many times you see that they're slagged off just because people haven't even used them. They just get on the bandwagon when somebody moans on the telly. But underlying the situation was when I was on the table in the operating theatre, they told my family that there was still a very good chance that I might not make it, but it was up to me. If I still wanted to live, and I thought I would live, and I did, and I'm still here. At that time, had I not, inside of me somewhere, had I not had that intrinsic will, I would have died. That is a fact. You know, I do know what it's like to be at the very worst end, and I'm sure many people have had experiences. Everything is relative. Often I think, you know, my experiences can sound quite bad, but you know, it is relative. People have other problems, but they may be affected to a similar extent, and yet on the face of it, the problem may not seem as difficult, or the experiences in their lives may not appear to be as difficult, but they may affect them just as bad, if not more. So I spent over 1.5 years in various hospitals, and that thing that you alluded to, that underlying will to live, was inside me, and it helped me to survive. Now I am genuinely thankful that I'm still here. Yeah, I'd like to be able to afford to do a lot more things and afford to make my life a little bit more like it used to be, but disability benefits don't allow that. But overall, you know, now my head's sorted out, I'm on 1 mild antidepressant every day. You know, by and large, I'm a very happy person, and you know, there's no way I can see at the moment that I would want to do it again, or feel that I can't imagine being in those sort of desperate straits again. I mean, it could happen. It can always happen. But if you've got a bit inside you and you can't control it, if you've got it inside you, you'll survive. And I'm here to tell you, it's great surviving. Very thought-provoking stuff, but as I say, very close to my heart. The thing about you know, this trend for euthanasia and this trend for people to want to be allowed to die. Now, my opinion on that